So we closed a little bit to the upside of VWAP, which we held all day. Within the net implied move from last night, but a little bit above the intraday or the SPXW implied move, like 1 bip above it. Nothing very significant. Out here, we got hung up on the 68.90 level on ES. This is a little bit distributive. I would say that this is at least moderately well set up to pull back a little, back to maybe trend here before moving higher on the reversal from the low. So maybe Monday, the start of next week, we see a little bit of a pullback. Possibly fill the gap from today before moving up. But I would say 68.43 looks fairly likely. And then that should support there would open up a leg higher out towards like 69.30, which is the next important level to the upside. Dollar moved up today, about 28 bips. USD JPY falling, or well, rising 144, so yen falling 143 bips against the dollar. Yields at the top end of the curve moving up, with the biggest sell-offs being in the 2s and 5s. Commodities, gold doing okay, silver up 260 points again. Oil up a little bit, about 100 bips, and then yeah, nothing else super notable. I guess copper had an okay day. Correlation continued to fall today, but at a slower pace than yesterday. 3-month correlation moving in line with 1 month, both of them down fairly substantially into close. Bond volatility is basically dead. Leverage on the carry trade on the top end, almost at 10x, new all-time high. This is the highest it's ever been. If I go to the weekly, you can see it's substantially higher than it was back in 2006, 2007, before the GFC. Even at the short end, leverage is still higher than it was, or about equivalent to where it was in 2008. And then forward yield on volatility fell a bit today, although most of the vol drop on the front end, like 30 days. Forward yield down to negative 14.13%, but the 10-2 starting to take off a little bit. Skew snap back to the upside today. Breadth still doesn't look great, although NQ moving pretty hard today. I think RSP still kind of doing shitty. Actually, RSP with a lower high today than yesterday. So I would say we're not getting a lot in breadth. No real changes there for Fed Fund futures. Yeah, 10-2 at 66.4 now. And the downside gap on VX filled after the contract roll. Correlation actually up today. Despite the drop in volatility, correlation moved back up to about 90.81%. And leverage climbed back a little bit after falling yesterday, but still lower highs across this. I think leverage is about where we were beginning of October. Interesting. And the SOFR IRB spread closing a bit today, so only a point wide. And up volume, yeah, still rising trend as far as the buy volume is concerned. Out here, we broke out above the 20-day moving average with a clean bounce off of the 30 EMA. Pushes us up, but I mean, we're still pretty far from retesting. And then if we do retest the all-time high, that's a diamond top, so that'll be somewhat interesting. But we have that trend there. Diamond top would come on a retest at 69.20. If that failed, that would be spectacularly bad. But I guess the next important level to upside is 68.82. I'm pretty sure that was the November high. And then 69.20 beyond that, which we haven't retested yet since like 6% drawdown. So look at that. Maybe this retesting this trend that failed prior, which would still be about the same level, 68.82, right around there, 68.90. But pretty good bounce today. Looks healthy. Going into next week, I don't know if it's going to stay that way. There's a little bit of over hedging on the potential that Japan did a double hike, and I think we're seeing that blow off a little bit in the dollar. The dollar is likely to retreat back, which is why I think we're still seeing speculation on gold. But we'll probably have to wait for the weekend for that. Up today, mostly tech. Some winners still in producer manufacturing. Health technology did okay. Kind of a little bit mixed. Banks did well, but Burke and Blackstone not doing great. Retail trade, gross. Retail sentiment was way down. And then most of the smaller sectors kind of just shit. So still mostly just tech pushing up. Doesn't look like anything else is doing astoundingly compared to that. Nvidia up almost 4% today. AVGO up 3.18. AMD up 6%. Fuck. Oracle 6.63%. Palantir 4.14. Google 155. So even Microsoft and Apple are even up like half a percent. Epstein file time. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that was today. That'll be exciting to read over the weekend. 10-year JGB, just hanging out at 2.02% now. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you Sunday for the Sunday stream. I thought they were releasing the files. Today's like the due date, right? Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.